Hello and welcome to the homework walkthrough video for lesson 5.04b, independent practice. In this video, we are going to be practicing writing an equation for the constant of proportionality using a table and a description. I forgot the word. Table and a description. Let's get right into it on our homework. First, how many questions are there? 5 questions. Not too bad, not too bad. Question 1. The table of values shown represents a proportional relationship. Here's our table, here are the x's, here are the y's. Write an equation in the form y equals kx, representing the proportional relationship where k is the constant of proportionality. So we have to find the constant of proportionality, k, and write it in equation form. So my answer is going to look like y equals something x. And then I'll replace k when I figure out what k is. To find k, to find the constant of proportionality, I do y divided by x. This graph is nice because it tells us what the y's are and what the x's are. So let's just use this first row. Make it simple. K is y, negative 16, divided by x, negative 2. What is negative 16 divided by negative 2? Negative 16 divided by negative 2. It is 8. So k is 8. Oh, and turns out negative 8 divided by negative 1 is 8, 8 divided by 1 is 8, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. That number is constant. That's why we call it the constant of proportionality. So I will replace k with number 8. Check my answer. Green check mark. Moving on to question 2. The table of values shown represents a proportional relationship. Here's the graph, or here's the chart. It shows all of the x's, all of the y's. Write an equation in the form y equals kx, representing the proportional relationship where k is the constant of proportionality. So for this problem, I need to find what k is, find the constant of proportionality, and then write it in equation form. So y equals kx. My answer will look like this, but I will replace k with whatever I find out k to be, whatever I find out the constant of proportionality to be. Let's get scribbling. To find the constant of proportionality, to find k, I do y divided by x. Y divided by x. This table is nice because it tells us what the y's are and tells us what the x's are. So just for simplicity, just to keep things easy, let's use these first two numbers. K equals. What is our y value for this first relationship? It is 2. What is the x value? It is 4. What is 2 divided by 4? Handy dandy calculator. 0.5. So k is 0.5. If you chose to do one of these relationships with the fractions, you can still use the same strategy. K would be 5/2 divided by 5. What is 5/2? Oh, 2.5. 5/2 is the same as having 2.5 of something. If I cut my pizzas into half pizzas and I have 5 of those half pizzas, Together, I would have 2 whole pizzas and then half pizza, 2.5. So 2.5 divided by 5, oh, also 0.5. So no matter what pair of numbers, you will constantly get 0.5 as your constant of proportionality. So let's replace k with 0.5. Yeah, green check mark. Oh, looks like you could have also kept it as a fraction. Question 3. The grams of sugar in a bowl of cereal is proportional to the number of servings. The table of values shown represents this proportional relationship. Here are the servings, here are the sugar. Write an equation in the form y equals kx, representing the proportional relationship where k is the constant of proportionality. So for this problem, I need to find k, I need to find the constant of proportionality, and I need to write it in y equals kx. Or I need to write my answer in equation form. And then I will replace k with the constant of proportionality when I find it. To find k, we do the y value divided by the x value. Now, this chart is a little harder than the other charts we've seen so far because it doesn't directly tell us what x is and what y is. You might be able to guess based on various things, various strategies that you've discovered for yourself, but x is the independent variable, the thing in the story you control, and y is the dependent variable, the thing in the story you don't control, the thing in the story that depends on the other thing. In this story of number of servings and grams of sugar, you decide how many servings of cereal you eat. You don't decide how much sugar is in each serving. You are deciding how much to eat. So number of servings is the independent variable, and grams of sugar is the dependent variable, y. Now that we know what x and y are, let's find the constant. To find the constant, we do y divided by x, or 27, our y value, divided by 2, our x value. What's 27 divided by 2? 13.5. Let's get that typed in. Y equals 13.5x. Nice. Question 4. Oliver and his family are on a road trip for a family vacation. They are traveling at a constant rate where the number of miles driven is proportional to the number of hours traveled. Oliver records that after 2 hours of driving, they traveled that many miles. After 5 hours of driving, they traveled that many miles. Write an equation in the form y equals kx to represent the proportional relationship. I need to record my answer in equation form, so it's going to look like this, but I will replace k with whatever I find out k to be. Take a screenshot of this and get drawing. To find k, I need to do y divided by x. Now, this description's a little tougher than some of the tables because it doesn't directly tell us what y is or what x is. Lucky for us, there's a way we can find out what x and y are. X is the independent variable. Y is the dependent variable. X is the thing in the story that you are in control of, the thing that you are deciding on, or Oliver is deciding on. Y is the thing in the story that depends on something else. So we have hours of driving and miles traveled. The miles you travel depends on how many hours you go. you are choosing, or Oliver is choosing, how long to drive. Oliver's not really deciding how many miles he's going. Oliver's deciding how long he's driving. Because if Oliver could, Oliver would decide to go 500 miles in 2 seconds. Oliver can't do that. So Oliver can only decide how long to drive. So the hours is our X, and the miles would be our Y. You are deciding how long you're driving, and then the miles depends on how long you drive. Now that we know what Y and X are, let's find out what K is, our constant of proportionality, by doing our Y value divided by our X value. What is 138 divided by 2? It is 69. 345 divided by 5 is also 69. So let's write that in equation form. Nice. We did it. Good job. Last question, question 5. You are reading a book at a constant rate. The number of pages read is proportional to the number of minutes you have been reading. You record that 5 minutes of reading, you have read 6.5 pages. After 8 minutes of reading, you have read 10.4 pages. Write an equation in the form y equals kx to represent the proportional relationship. So we have to write an equation in the form of y equals kx, but we are going to replace k with whatever we find the constant of proportionality to be. Let's take a screenshot of this problem so we can get scribbling, get mathing. To find the constant of proportionality, to find k, we need to do any y value divided by its associated x value. Now this description is a little harder than some of the tables that we saw before, because this description doesn't directly tell us what the y and the x are, like some of the tables did. But lucky for us, there are ways we can figure out what the x and the y are. The x value is the independent variable. The y value is the dependent variable. The y value, the dependent variable, is the thing that depends on something else. The x value, the dependent variable, is what you are choosing, what you have power over. In this story of minutes of reading and pages read, you are choosing how long you're reading. You are not choosing necessarily how many pages you're reading, because if it were up to you, you'd probably choose to read 100 pages in 1 minute, but you can't do that. So instead, you are choosing how long you're going to read, and the number of pages depends on how long you've been reading. So minutes are our x value, pages are our y value. Also, most of the time, when one of the units is time, like minutes, days, hours, that's going to be the x value, and the other one will be y. Most of the time, in most instances, that's the case. Now that we know what x and y are, let's find out our constant of proportionality. We can find our constant of proportionality by doing our y value, 6.5, divided by our x value, 5. You could also do 10.4 divided by 8. Let's see what Senor Calculator has to say about this problem. It is 1.3. A is 1.3. Let's check. Yay! All right, if you need more help with this homework or with this concept, with these questions, please let me know in a Canvas message, and I would love to help you however I am able. Good luck.